hosted our first ever Des Moines Teen Poetry Slam to determine the 6 poets who would attend the Brave New Voices in Chicago this summer. We will be the first team from Iowa to ever compete at this festival, so we feel pretty cool that we're going to be able to take our students to witness this movement that is really an international movement.
But 515 tells me I got that sass, the attitude to be rude, but behind closed doors I sing like one of God's angels, singing the truth.
Usually in slam poetry there's 5 judges and you drop the lowest and the highest score. Most teen slams are judged from 8.0 to 10. We were actually really meticulous about the judges that we chose for the show because we wanted a great representation of the Des Moines community, and so we had a very diverse panel that was really experts in a lot of different avenues. We had a spoken word artist himself, we had a local business owner, we had a writer, so we really tried to fold in all the components that we expect our kids to be able to show on stage so that the judges could accurately score them and things would be fair.
It means a lot to me. It's about having a voice. It's about pulling collections of all the people that you've experienced in your entire lifetime and giving them an opportunity to speak on stage. A lot of my pieces aren't solely me. They're pieces of everyone that I've met. So it means a lot to me to be able to speak and tell my truth, and it means a lot to me that these students have an opportunity to share their truths on stage. And also I think it keeps a lot of students out of trouble and involved and telling their stories that really need to be heard, that make a difference.
They plead for our ears to listen while their faces gleam and glisten with tears streaming down from their eyes.
What we're trying to do is we're just trying to give our students a platform to tell their stories, to talk about issues that are important to them, and to really figure out how they can use their voices to help people become more compassionate or just understand differences among one another.
Oh my God, this isn't happening.
If you're really nervous, you disconnect a little bit, and it's a little bit out of like an out-of-body experience. But if you're really comfortable with the piece and you can get into it, it's amazing. It's commanding a crowd. It's telling them how you feel. It's really empowering, really, really empowering.
Why I'm fresh, not because swag is gonna pay my rent in 10 years, but because I'm striving to fulfill my dream of walking on the moon since I was told sky is the limit.
Every Thursday we have a writing workshop at North High that's open to all DMPS students in middle and high school. And so we've been meeting now for 3 years regularly on Thursdays, and we're averaging about 30 students per workshop. Out of the 30 students that we averaged, we had 17 that originally had signed up with enough, confidence to be able to do an actual slam and compete to have 3 pieces memorized. We've never done that before with a show. Usually we only require them to memorize 1 piece, and so that's really what took tonight to a different level. Was we had Iowa assessments going on and students trying to juggle all of those, so we really tried to build in time during workshop to work specifically with the slam in general. And so that process really we started about 2 months ago. So this is about 2 months in the making for our students.
They start with 15 designs, and then we whittle it down to 7. The students do have the option of constructing more. It just depends on how much time they have to allocate to their designs. Someone might get inspired by a painting that they had seen, or a movie that they had seen, or maybe a place that they had visited, like Italy or France. Inspiration is everywhere. And what's great about inspiration is once one student finds their inspiration, it kind of feeds off into other people, and their creativity comes out. And so I try and teach the kids to look at different aspects of things, because you can always be inspired by anything that you see.
Fashion is very important and oftentimes untapped resource for creativity, especially for youth. You can wear what you feel. You can show up one day in, I don't know, a goth mini dress, and the next day, come to school looking preppy. It's just another way to express yourself, and especially when you're young, it's really hard to find those avenues because you're all angsty and trying to find yourself. So fashion now means so much to me. It's a great way for me to just kind of get back to square one, center myself, and have some fun.
90% of my students go on to post-secondary education majoring in fashion, apparel design, or merchandising. If the student chooses not to go into fashion design in post-secondary education, these are skills that they're going to use over a lifetime. These are life skills.
I'm really grateful and thankful that this program is still around, and it's actually even expanded since I've been here. The setup that she has here is amazing, and I'm so excited that students from all over Des Moines can experience that.
The IB Visual Arts program is kind of a unique look at art. I would say at the homeschools there's a lot of focus on like technique, and you'll see a lot of works where there's a lot of kids drawing similar things to master the technique, and I think that's definitely a valid way of teaching art. But I think that what makes this program stand out is how research-based it is, and how open it is to kind of freedom of expression. And so we get a lot of freedom in the program. It's definitely not, you're definitely not boxed into any particular way of going about it, and you really get to develop your own ideas through independent research, whether it is research in the materials you're using or research in a particular concept or idea or a different culture. And so we have these sketchbooks that are full of all this research that goes into each project, which is really interesting. So each project has all this inner meaning that is very personal to us, which is, I think, definitely a unique way of looking at it.
The great thing about IB Visual Arts is that the students really get to take ownership over really their art journey. And that means something different to everyone. So instead of putting them all into the same mold, they really find their own path. For example, we have students who may be confronting body image, students that are confronting the idea of time. Each student picks their own theme that they research and find their own answers to.
My theme is the human body, so you'll see a lot of work with that, and I kind of focused in on the connection between the body and the mind, and how our thoughts and ideas play a part in our physical appearance and the way we see the world, I guess. So I did a lot of work with text, which is kind of representative of the thoughts and ideas aspect, and then also a lot of work with black and white, which I just thought was a good way for me to I guess I could master the medium a little bit more if I was focusing on just the two colors. Plus, I really like what it says about kind of good versus evil in every person. And it's definitely been a lot of hard work that I put into the program, but I'm definitely proud of all the work I've done. I think the arts are such an important part of the International Baccalaureate program. And it's not actually a required part of the program. You can choose to opt out of the arts and take an extra science instead, but I think that we've all benefited a lot through taking it, because IB is all about reflection and critical thinking and analysis, and you definitely get that in your other subjects as well, but I think that art encompasses all of that. You're analyzing different people's works, you're thinking critically about your own, and you're reflecting on the work that you've done and its personal relevance to you. So I think it is an incredibly good addition to the program, and I'm really happy to have it here at the Academy.
We chose the Brave Buckaroo, which is a comedy, basically a comedy melodrama. So it's fun, it's funny. I believe we haven't done a musical or play here at Hiatt in about 5 or 6 years. So we wanted to do something that wouldn't be as intimidating as we would think. So we started in about January, and we've been practicing basically every day with the kids and learning along with them how to start a musical and right along with them. So it's been an experience for both the teachers and the kids involved in it. This summer, Mrs. Green and I decided that we wanted to do the musical, so we obviously needed funding. So we found the K-8 teacher grant and wrote it along with Mr. Barker, and we kind of had a vision of what we wanted to do, and so we wrote all about our ideas, and they bought it, and now we're here.
This is the annual district high school show that we're in right now, and Hoover, it's Hoover's year to sponsor it. So the two art teachers at Hoover High School spent hours putting it together. We have a variety of students at Hoover. In fact, Hoover is one of the few schools in the district that has 54 different countries represented. So we have a lot of students right now that have never even had experience in art before. So it's an eye-opener, I guess, for them too. And a lot of the artwork that is here is from them, because they're just thrilled at doing it. They just can't get enough of it. And even the ones that I've entered, they're all emerging artists. They've never been in a show before, but it's thrilling and actually it makes them want to do more.
It's a very open atmosphere, and you can get inspiration from other people, and they can take your own techniques from you, and you can compare, and it's just very open.
So it's just nice to have the students walk through, and even the parents, and get an idea of how vast their skills and their ideas are. So, and that's what we try to do. If it's not exciting in an art experience, we work a little bit harder at it.